Well, it's time for one last performance on your Feel Good Breakfast show here on the Africa Channel. I'm joined by Sfiso Kwe. I'm a creative director, artistic director at Jazzart. And of course, you've got a brand new production called Through the Eyes of the Masses, and filled with provocation, controversy, lots to think about. But just take me back to the conceptualization of the show and where it all came from.
Just talking to the Cape Townians basically about the the land issue, because even though we don't want to talk about it, but behind closed doors people do talk about their houses, the District 6, and what the government is doing currently regarding to the land that was taken away from them. And some of them do say, when I pass District 6, I look at this place and I wish I can go back. And some of them say, even if I'm giving the money, it's not enough to rebuild my house, what I lost. So it's all of those issues. But there are other things that are hidden. People don't want to know, or they don't want us to know about. 1901, the first Xhosa people were kicked out of District 6. Nobody speaks of that. They speak only of 1966. But also in this production, we also look at what you call the first people in this country. There were those slaves who were brought in here, about 174 of them, Mozambicans, I think even more than that, Mozambicans, Angolians, Chinese, all of those people before us. And we forget that, and today we call them foreigners, we call them amakwerekwere. And we actually explore this, we look deep into that, but this is through a physical body now.
How do you go about ensuring the historical accuracy of putting on a production like this? Because obviously it touches on a lot of sensitive points that I think certainly need to be communicated accurately.
What's research? Talk to different people who have actually traveled the road. I've spoken to a couple of people. I've got directors who came in to assist us. Duweyama, Bezela Police, they came in to assist us in different sections. And of course, the poet herself, Khadija Higa, who also contributed with her poem in the production. She has a vast knowledge in terms of the history of this country, especially the colored community in this province. So she really contributed a lot in that.
When it comes to choreographing a production like this, how do you use the body as a means of communicating the message?
Firstly, talking to the dancers, we give the dancers the ideas, and then some of them, they'll tap back to their history, they speak to their parents, and from there they create what they've been, the experiences they receive perhaps from their parents, and then they transfer that straight into their bodies. And what my job is basically to direct the choreography, what is in front of me. And then from there the production is there, and then basically at the end it's my direction that creates the picture that you see at the end.
So the show is going to be on from the 14th until the 16th of September, this coming weekend at the Artscape. What do you want people to walk out of that show feeling or to take away?
You know, it would be nice if they can go back to the government and say, history in our schools need to include this kind of history. Because I've been talking to 12-year-olds, they know nothing about District 6. They know nothing about Sophia Town or Ketomena, which used to be Mkumbane. And this needs to be taught back. The history in our schools needs to include our real history. I think these countries, for some reason, they're shying away from this. And this is killing us. We can never go forward if we don't know where we come from. And we really need to know where we come from. And we need to debate about these issues. The issue of land in this country, some people feel uncomfortable talking about it, but we need to talk about it. Because behind closed doors, people are suffering. All they need to know is the truth. What happened and what's the way forward.
Sfiso, thank you very much for joining us and bringing us a part of the production. We're going to see one more excerpt from Through the Eyes of the Masses.
Thank you.
Ons God, waar land groen bruin beskou word. 'n land wat swart, wit en bruin skei. 'n land van grond, stof en been. Ons voetspore gekleef teen die grond, maar steeds verdwyn. Ons soek na die grond van ons voorvaders.
In die Kaapse draai waar die wind so waai, waar die doring en fynbos die wyntrossans ons drome paai. Uit Kretoa o Shemato, van Ribik Lydia Masavana, Anna Mojaji, Nonkause se dop. Ja, uit hierdie vaart van verskil, is ons almal maar net die kinders van gemengde bloed en land goed. Is die myne nie is die joune nie. Ons behoort aan die land, so sê die poesman.